It's been a day. Okay. It is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. We are going to go ahead and get started with our administrative reports. First, by indicating who's here, let's start with Julie.
Julie Jackson.
Kim Chandler.
Chris Wynn.
Karen Winder.
Clark Nelson.
Todd Hopper.
Rich Nunn.
And Nicole McDermott. All right, we're going to turn the time over to Don and Justin and Chris.
Perfect, thank you. So again, as we update on the various projects that are happening throughout the district, the security upgrade timeline, we haven't changed any of the timelines coming up, but you'll see as we speak to the design of those in upcoming projects. A couple of things that are happening here, and I have a newer projects list than you do. So bear with me as I read from some of this. It's not on your screen. Hunter High Track, so again, we're expanding that from 4 lanes to 8 and doing some ADA accommodations in the bleacher section. Silver Hills has a security upgrade. That design work is done and we're in plan review on that. We have 2 pressing issues before us. The state fuel system is mandating that we update our transportation underground fuel tanks and our maintenance underground fuel tanks by 2025. So we're designing to update those underground fuel tanks. We do have some need for new vestibule doors here at the GEC. If you've ever walked through them and wondered why some of them are open, it's because they don't make parts for those anymore, and we've cannibalized everything. So you will see some replacement doors just as you walk in and out. We're looking at parking lot upgrades at Lake Ridge and West Valley. We've had some damage that requires us to dig up some of the spaces and pave those. And then we're also looking at doing some upgrades to parking here at the GEC as our parking lot is starting to uncrumble. And we also have a lot of vandalism happening to district cars that are placed here. So you'll see us do a fencing project around district cars as well. We had, Justin, out of your team, 11 of 13 vehicles
1 or 2
damaged one night by a gentleman who, no idea, just happened. So you'll see us do some security measures here to protect some of those assets. We're using the ESSER money to the best of our ability here, looking at boiler replacements, HVA controls, upgrades, et cetera. A lot of these projects you've seen before you are coming to an end. Hunter, Granite Park, Hillside, Valley Crest, et cetera, they're winding down. So we finished the bulk of the work. We'll be working on programming, which leads to comfort and all of those things. Taylorsville High Gymnasium AC upgrade, we're just about halfway through that one. Fairly complex, but we're able to do it while we're in school. And then Bacchus Elementary, I think it was on the last board meeting you approved the controls upgrades there. Chiller additions, we have some, so Diamond Ridge, Granger, Oakwood, William Penn, and Woodstock all had evaporative cooling systems, to be frank, and those are not great. They also cause challenges for dealing with pandemics, anything that's passed through the air, be it cold and flu, et cetera. So we're going to be changing those out to mechanical cooling systems. And then West Valley, you approved a chiller addition. That was a really, it uses a refrigerant that's not available anymore and costs over $1,000 a pound, I believe is the last word that we had. So for those reasons, we're working on those chiller changes. So again, some of the upcoming ESSER funded projects, Taylorsville High, Diamond Ridge, Granger, Oakwood, William Penn, and Woodstock. Truman Elementary HVAC, working behind the scenes an awful lot. So the relocatables are out there and the portable restrooms are being put in place. Our contractor is behind the scenes expediting some things. So we have some power that needs to be brought in, and Rocky Mountain Power could not find equipment to do it on their end. So we scrambled, redid our design, and designed it with equipment that they can get. So we're starting to have that work come in. I think last board meeting we might have had, no, it was under 50,000. We let out a contract to an electrician to get that work going, and then Rocky Mountain Power falls behind. So we've reordered some of the work to stay on time, and that would be bidding out the chiller enclosure and a couple of those things that we can get going on early and not have to wait for the electrical. So the contractor's been busy shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic. So again, some of the reloads going in, our teams hooking those up, getting teaching technology in, getting security systems in, et cetera.
Hey, Dawn, real quick,
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Truman,
Yes, ma'am.
I know the faculty is very anxious about this because half of the faculty has to move into the reloads
Yes.
before this work can begin, which means teachers are packing up their classrooms, right? So in attending their community council meetings, one of their biggest concern is what is the timeline? How much time are you guys going to give me to pack up?
Yeah.
Box up
Yeah.
my classroom. We've promised them boxes and movers and everything like
Yep.
that, but how soon will we have a timeline so they can
Right.
know?
So we're going to give them no less than 2 weeks' notice to do that. When the actual date occurs is all dependent on that Rocky Mountain Power equipment. And
Okay,
we're
but it
having-
is a 2-week notice. That's,
Yes, without a doubt, at least a
Okay.
2-week notice. We'd love to give them more. We're trying, again, just that because Rocky Mountain Power is its own entity and it's very big, getting the exact date of when they're going to get their equipment in and flip the switch for us, that's really complex. But we'll hold to the 2-week notice period. We're just trying to nail down some of those big moving parts of the electrical right now. Okay, thank you. Great question. The GEC Family Center is getting a teen center on site. Contractors doing some good work, demolition in bathroom area, framing for laundry. So again, a mini version of what you saw at Cottonwood. And this really helps kind of the South Salt Lake community kiddos that are Granite Park or other schools. This gives them a location to go to. Okay, and that's again, working through JD and others to provide them that area. And then if we could, transition to Chris and Justin, please. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, board members. Superintendent, I will talk about, yes, thank you, Westlake. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening out there. You'll see in the slides, or you've already seen the pictures. Roofing, 90% complete. That's exciting as weather is quickly turning on us here. Glass is being installed around the perimeter. You'll see some photos of that. Installation of interior finishes such as tile and paint, which is always exciting. Landscaping has begun. You'll see some photos of that. They've even started digging the trenches for the irrigation for the play fields. So that's exciting to get that in, some of that in, or all that in before it gets too cold. Rough grading of the athletic field. Again, you'll see that the track has been paved. Parking lot, bus lane is complete, and then you'll see some millwork. So we'll jump in there. And just an aerial looking from the south, looking to the north. You can see the track on the left there, which in a moment you'll see it's actually black, not brown anymore, which is exciting. And the fields up to the far north and northwest there, with the media center right there in the center, that kind of arch there, which is a curved portion of the building. Classrooms on either side. To the right is the track, paved and striped, which is exciting to see that. The asphalt just to the lower part of that photo is the bus lane, and so that's good to have. Not the bus lane, but the fire lane is what I meant to say, excuse me. The fire lane, if ever an emergency. The photo on the left is the commons area. There's some stairs there to the left that are kind of can be a learning with some displays. This is looking down that main, they call it the main street there at Westlake, which is exciting. You see the glass there on the right. Classroom there on the left with some of the ceiling grid going in. The millwork there on the wall. Over here on the right as well, science lab. So exciting to see those kind of types of finishes happening in November. And, oh, sorry, I skipped, nope, I didn't skip one. And then as far as the financial things go, there was nothing change order-wise that needed to be brought before the board this last month. So we're moving forward and on track, and things are progressing nicely.
Could you remind us the estimated completion date at this stage for Westlake?
The completion date is, I believe it's the same as our high school, same as, which is I'm trying to think what, it's the 27th? It's a Tuesday after the holiday of May. So May 27th, if that's the right day, that Tuesday. That's the contract completion date. Are they pushing a little behind in a couple areas? Yeah. We will have, I think, almost all of the building by then. And then we can start moving furniture in. There may be a couple of places that we have to juggle a little bit. Auditorium, and I think maybe some of the CTE spaces. But they won't be May 27th, but right there after. So we're looking good. It's exciting. I know the Westlake community is excited to get out of Westbrook Lake and move over to Westlake. Any other questions about Westlake? All right. Chris
you
is-
wouldn't mind
yeah,
operating for me.
yeah.
So,
Sorry.
switching first to Skyline High School, thank you all for who came out for our board tour. There's a lot of school, as you can well know, walking up and down the hallways. We've made some great progress this last month. One of the most important things was the completion of the rest of the steel work at the cafeteria commons area. It's been a long time coming, getting all of the steel completed there. The glass work, as you saw, was the exterior windows on the main academic building. A lot of progress is made with getting that closed in, and with that and completion of the roof, puts us in a good place for the wintertime for getting that completed. The administration suite is the furthest portion of the building. As you walk through there, for those of you who are able to attend, you can see it looks pretty well close to moving in. The athletics vestibule, it is life safety safe, but the finishes and such are lagging. They will be able to use it, but it's going to be an ongoing completion the entire winter on that with some portions of the millwork and stuff. The drywall is moving very well. The electrical plumbing, we've got a lot of work going on, still a lot of work to do in order to hit the completion on that. And then we have also, we've been waiting to kind of close off that last south stair tower just because it impedes access to the courtyard. But with the utilities being complete in the courtyard now, we feel like we're making good progress in being able to get the life safety components, the stairs and such that we have to have at that end of the academic building in order to occupy. If we could advance into there. This is the portion I was talking about, that stair tower on the south end of the building, and then quite a bit of the concrete paving. We were fortunate enough to have great weather for the month of November. I know all spring we talked about how long the winter was, but the winter is, we have some compensating values, I guess. So we've had a tremendously good November.
Can we all knock on wood now as a group that the weather continues?
I'm holding my other hand with my fingers crossed under the table or whatever else, throw salt over your shoulder, whatever superstitions you may need. But we have been very fortunate to get paving done, get the buildings closed, to get the roof on in good weather, to have a good weather-tight building. As I mentioned, we've got accent walls being painted in the administration suite. The classroom pods are moving rapidly into the finishes. A super neat thing in the athletic vestibule, and you can kind of see behind there the glass for the display cases and stuff, and just getting the finishes worked on, but being able to use the vestibule in order to alleviate some of those crowding issues of getting into the gymnasium for athletic events this winter. The kitchen area in the new kitchen is moving really well. We're fortunate. Kitchens, freezers, and refrigerators have been a real challenge the last few years from a procurement standpoint. So we're really excited to be able to get in a lot of that. And then the mechanical equipment and such is moving pretty well. The mechanical contractor's actually done a really good job. And there is a whole lot of drywall that's been stacked in the building that's now on the walls. The roofing area, and as I indicated, it's really, even from the time of just a couple weeks ago, there's a lot of finishings and things that are moving rapidly. Now we've just got 5.5 months to get the inside of the building finished and ready to occupy. And no changes other than a few administrative changes on Skyline. So Cypress, there's just activities across the board going on. I was actually out there yesterday and today going through the progress on it. Cypress is being built in a similar manner. It's being built from the top down, and it is across the board. So you might walk into an area and say, paint, and then the next room is like, oh, we need to put in the floor. There were some corrective work that had to go on the main floor in terms of all of the underground plumbing, but that work is being done, and now work is proceeding throughout the academic areas. We can there's a big long list there that I don't need to read off. So one of the greatest things that we were able to do was get that north parking in, which is going to save us a tremendous amount of effort during this winter. The first time I walked onto that site last January, February, I think I left about 6 inches taller from the amount of mud that was stuck to the bottom of my boots. And so having this north parking lot, getting the crews of vehicles out of the mud and onto the paving, and then the plan is for us to pave the south parking lot for, outside of the auditorium this next week. Normally we would, double fingers crossed across the board on this one, Don. In appeals to higher deity would be appreciated this next week as well from everybody. So the goal is in getting that is not just to have, it's a 60-acre site. So having the north parking lot paved is really nice, but it would be super nice to have the south parking lot paved as well, so that as the workers and crews and materials are going into the auditorium area of the building, the auditorium right now is completely scaffolded. If you were to go in there, it's there's a lot of work on the ceilings and stuff being gone in there. So we'd really like to hope that the weather will continue. Normally this time of year you wouldn't even consider paving there. I'm knocking on wood again. So hopefully that the weather next week will allow us to continue to pay for that. The CTE building, if those of you who were on a tour a couple months ago and we were telling you the concept is there will be a building here. Yeah, there, believe it or not, there is a building there. Maybe getting a little ahead of myself, but the athletics building obviously is progressing rapidly. We've got curtains, getting ready to get it all cleaned up to get the flooring in the gymnasium, tiles, really starting to look like a finished building in the athletic building as we're moving along. The pool area is moving quite rapidly as well. We're moving from dirt into a real building. And then, as I indicated, it's even further along than this, quite a bit further along than this photo shows, that the CTE building is really turning into a building at this point. So I believe we've only got 11 panels left total to stand, and 4 of those are cast. This is coming around the front of the building. The social studies area that's being shown there, that is on the north side of the auditorium, facing the large student courtyard. And there's a lot of glass going in right now. We've had glass at the athletics building for about 6 to 8 weeks, but it's really nice seeing that same kind of thing. If we can get this envelope closed in, we can keep the cost down on heating the building, and we're going to get a lot better finishes in the roof. We've been fortunate once again to have dry enough weather to get a lot of this stuff done. It might not look like there's dry weather because there's water all over the floor there, but we'll be able to much better control the environment. And then actually the commons and cafeteria steel out at Cypress proceeded very rapidly, and we've actually got the steel in for the learning stairs, and the steel is nearly complete there at Cypress. Cypress is moving very quickly. The rooms are starting to look like classrooms. They're starting to be framed out and such like that. So the last of the HVAC units will be installed in the next couple weeks, kind of near over by the administration area, and we can get a roof on that last section of the building. So any questions on either Skyline or Cypress? It's just a lot of work going on. There are literally hundreds of workers on both sites. So, and we have a continued amount of coordination meetings that we're doing with staff. We met with the teachers yesterday with Cypress, and have an opportunity over the next couple months to address furniture and other things in planning with them like we've already been doing at Skyline. Thank you.
Great. We're good? That was it. Fantastic. All right. That is all we have for our 5 o'clock meeting. So we're going to take a break and meander over to get some dinner and then come back. So.